On September 12th, 2025, the newest installment to the Fire Emblem franchise, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, was announced for the Nintendo Switch 2 at basically the final direct of the year. Which obviously I'm assuming if you're watching this video that you're a Fire Emblem fan or a Nintendo fan, that the September Direct always shows the games that will be releasing in the winter of that year or what could be possibly releasing beyond that year in the first half of the next year. Like for example, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition was revealed during the September Direct of 2019. This game would later be released in May of 2020. There's also the fact that months after the Xenoblade Definitive Edition reveal, we were getting trailers. Like, I 100% remember that Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition got like a trailer at the Nintendo Direct Mini as well. And yeah, it eventually just released in May, which also kind of seemed like a pattern. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom also got re-revealed in the September Direct, and then it released in May. And the same thing happened to Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door remake? Bro, Nintendo lets anything be the final reveal in Nintendo Directs nowadays. My bad. I just had to get the one jab in on Paper Mid. But yeah, back on topic. Where is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave? Like, we've all seen the trailer, the game looks phenomenal. Like, I can tell that they're most likely using a different engine, maybe Unreal Engine 4 or 5. I would like to say Unreal Engine 4. But it can also be an in-house engine, but right now I'm leaning on Unreal Engine. And the time that I'm recording this video, it is currently the 1st of June, so if it was releasing in May, it would have been out already and this video would not have had to be made. I believe the last time a September Direct reveal was not releasing in May was Bayonetta 3, and that released in October. However, it makes sense, you know, October, spooky season, Bayonetta, she's a witch, you know, it makes sense. I wouldn't be able to tell you if they've released further like snippets of gameplay or character art via the Nintendo Today app because I don't have that app on my phone anymore, but I feel like I would have heard if it existed and happened on the Nintendo Today app, so I'd like to say it didn't because I was there for Fire Emblem Shadows. Okay, I'm sorry, that game is just a fever dream, bro. What is Fire Emblem Shadows? If I remember correctly, a couple of days ago that there was talk about the Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave art book leaking, which is very interesting that it leaked and there's only one trailer. Me personally, I didn't dig deep into the leaks because I'd rather not get spoiled. I'd rather, you know, get things revealed to me on their own terms. However, if there is an art book that's leaking, like people are saying, then we very well might be seeing Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave very soon. Which also, if you do not know, very soon is possibly a Nintendo Direct because they usually have their Nintendo Summer Directs in the June month because, you know, that's when E3 used to be a thing, which we now have Summer's Games Fest, but still, the spirit of E3 and summer game reveals has not died even if E3 has died. And there has been rumors of a Summer Direct that's around the corner, which I can very well see happening because the State of Play is around the corner, and with State of Plays, you already know, Nintendo Directs are usually following after. It'd also be very funny if instead of a general direct, they just announced a Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave Direct, but that wouldn't be funny for us because we just get bullied. The reason why I say this is because in June of 2022, we did not get a general direct and we got a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct, which I enjoyed very much. But yeah, I highly doubt that we'll see like a Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave Direct unless the game is like about to drop. Like, I can see them making a Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave Direct, but not this month. Maybe in like August, September. But I think it is very much likely that if we do get a general direct this month in June, that they'll probably start off their direct with the second trailer of Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, get that out of the way because you know Nintendo fans hate Fire Emblem. It'll most likely be a story-focused type of trailer and then it will give the release date because if you remember back in 2019, that during the summer of that year at E3, they had like a Fire Emblem Three Houses trailer that was mainly story-focused and we got the release date from that trailer. Which still, that was one of the coolest Fire Emblem Three Houses trailers that we got, so I 100% seen them mimic that trailer. By the way, it's me, Mirror. First and foremost, thank you for making it this far in the video, and you know, if you're liking the video, be sure to like it. If you're disliking the video, be sure to dislike it already. I know often sometimes when you're watching videos, you may forget to like, subscribe, dislike, but just know by doing that, you're doing me a huge favor. I can see Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave using callbacks to this Three Houses trailer because if you don't remember, that Sothis is in Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave in her adult form, which her appearance in this form made people confused on whether or not Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave was a prequel or a sequel to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Personally, I always leaned on the fact that it was a sequel to Fire Emblem Three Houses, but comment below which one do you think that it is. Personally though, I kind of feel like if it's a prequel to Fire Emblem Three Houses, you're kind of limiting the things that it can do, because as a prequel, it would have to make sure that it leads into Fire Emblem Three Houses. As a prequel, it can't go against the grain of what Fire Emblem Three Houses told us. However, if Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave was a sequel, it'd be able to tackle uncharted territory. But yeah, I'm 100% believing that Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave will be revealed in the next Direct. There's also the PEGI rating thing that happened back in April with Splatoon Raiders, which is another game that has been revealed for longer than Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave and is not out on the Nintendo Switch 2 yet, with Splatoon Raiders being rated PEGI 7, and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave being PEGI 12. Which obviously, getting your game rated is one of the final stages before you release the game to all of the regions. Which, if I did have to predict a month that it would be releasing, I'd say maybe September or October. That kind of line up with what happened with Bayonetta 3. And if it dropped in October, I'd also be able to ask for it for a birthday gift, so I win. But to be honest, I think it released more so in September. The reason why I didn't say that it would release in August is because Nintendo's attending Gamescom in August, and I feel like that'll be when they showcase more gameplay of it after this next trailer. Which possibly means that we'll see our first demo type of gameplay for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave at Gamescom in August. And then that leaves a release date in September or October, mainly because Splatoon Raiders is most likely going to be the holiday game for the Nintendo Switch 2 this year at November or December. But yeah, I strongly believe that soon we will get some Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave news. We might even see it in a couple of days, we might see it in a couple of weeks, but we are definitely getting some Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave news this month. If we don't, you guys can laugh at me in the comments later. If we do, you guys can say, oh my gosh, you're right, even though that's kinda not the most craziest prediction. I feel like that's a safe prediction. I don't think anything bad happened with the game's development recently. I know that's been a lot of discourse for many RPG fandoms, which this is mainly due to the fact that Dragon Quest XII had its development cycle basically scrapped, and they basically had to start the development cycle from scratch. I don't think anything like this happened to Fire Emblem. Like, the game looked amazing in the first trailer, and Nintendo's really good about not showing CGI trailers for the first trailer. Like, if Nintendo is going to reveal a game to you, they're going to show gameplay. So yeah, I don't think that there's any development hell or anything going on with that game. No Metroid Prime 4 situation, no Kingdom Hearts 3 situation, and no Dragon Quest XII situation for sure. However, if you've been looking at how Nintendo has been moving with this Switch 2, they have definitely been trying to strengthen their third-party market within that console, like both Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and The Adventures of Elliot the Millennium Tales are releasing on Nintendo Switch 2 in June, which is this month. There's also the fact that Nintendo has said multiple times that they would love to increase their relationships with third-party studios and developers and make sure that their future games are on Nintendo hardware. They couldn't do this with the Nintendo Switch 1 because the hardware wasn't as good to put like a PS4 game on it, for instance. Most games that got on the Switch 1 that were third party had crazy optimization. Like, I know Persona 5 Royal got ported, I know that Dragon Quest XI got ported, but most third party games were not releasing on the Nintendo Switch 1 at the time. So it could be possible that Fire Emblem was going to release in July, maybe just like Fire Emblem Three Houses did, and Nintendo perhaps said, okay, maybe we should market Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and The Adventures of Elliot first. Because when you release your video games like this, you want to give the game some time to breathe to make the customers feel like, I really need this game, instead of them being like, okay, they're just going to release a game in a couple of weeks from now, I'll just wait for that instead. But yeah, that's my take on the matter. I don't think Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is in any danger. I just think that we're 100% going to receive news soon, hopefully in this month. And also just remembering that Nintendo is very much showing that they can support third-party titles on the Switch 2 efficiently, which may also have gotten in the way of Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I mean, we did get a partner showcase in like February or March after all. So yeah, Nintendo is very much trying to get closer and showcase third-party support on their console. I'd like to thank everyone that made it this far in the video. If you liked the video, be sure to like it. If you dislike it, be sure to dislike it. Comment below what you think about Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. When do you think that it will release? I'd like to talk to you guys about it in the comments below. This is the first Fire Emblem related video on the channel, and I do have Fire Emblem Sacred Stones on my banner. So I just was like, you know what? Let me actually show love to Fire Emblem. And yeah, let me know if you guys would like to see more Fire Emblem content, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video.